whose story could...
All right, what is this bitch talking about? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what is going on here. All right. You know what it is. You know who it is. I don't understand how we're living in the Twilight Zone. Trump is not a racist, but legacy media has ruined many of the minds of the people. Please take this ride with me on this journey for you to hear the other side away from legacy media.
But first, to the Kamala Harris interview, which ended up looking more like a campaign ad than a hard-hitting interview.
Welcome on board. Thank you. It's good to see you.
This is not where Vice President Harris thought she would be.
We're going to Georgia.
Yes. 7th trip there this year for me.
A surprise nominee for president just months from Election Day. Set in motion after a stunning debate.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
There was a slow start, but it was a strong finish.
And then an extraordinary decision.
I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
Philadelphia!
What usually takes years of planning, coming together in a matter of weeks.
Tim Walz!
After a historic nomination at the convention in Chicago,
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
the Harris-Walz ticket is now pushing forward with the shortest presidential campaign in modern history.
What did you hear from voters here? People are very optimistic.
We joined them on the trail as they visited the battleground of Georgia. Just 68 days from the election.
And then after the first break, they ran this puff piece.
As voters are getting to know Kamala Harris, they want answers on how she will make their lives better. She heard that here at Sandfly Barbecue in Savannah.
What we're going to do to increase access to capital for small businesses, I'll be rolling out next week. Part of what we're going to be doing in terms of a tax credit.
On the trail, she talks about her experience, years in the courtroom as a district attorney and eventually California's attorney general. She wants to reframe the contest as the prosecutor versus the felon.
I know Donald Trump's type. I've been dealing with them my whole career.
The former president is turning to a well-defined playbook of personal attacks.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
And in just 12 days, the nominees will meet face-to-face for the first time.
She's not a good debater. She's not a smart person. She doesn't want to debate.
If you've got something to say, say it to my face.
CNN is a joke for pretending that this would be a legitimate effort to probe Harris.
Thank you.
That editing wasn't appropriate on either of those moments. And when CNN's Dana Bash did initially ask some substantive questions, there was no follow-up and there was just rambling and off-track answers. Harris was asked about why she backflipped on fracking, but there wasn't much pushback.
2019, I believe, at a town hall, you said you were asked, would you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking on your first day in office? And you said, there's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So yes. So it changed in that campaign?
In 2020, I made very clear where I stand. We are in 2024, and I've not changed that position, nor will I going forward. I kept my word, and I will keep my word.
Harris had previously called for illegal immigration to be decriminalised, but when she responded to this fact, the reporter just let her ramble.
Another question about something that you said in 2019 when you first ran. There was a debate. You raised your hand when asked whether or not the border should be decriminalized. Do you still believe that?
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced, that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally, and there should be consequence. And let's be clear, in this race, I'm the only person who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns, drugs, and human beings. I'm the only person in this race who actually served a border state as Attorney General to enforce our laws, and I would enforce our laws as president going forward. I recognize the problem.
In truth, Harris is part of an administration which has an out-of-control illegal immigration issue, and the journalist failed to press further on this fact. And after these more serious questions, it got super weird, fluffy, and very promotional. Rather than digging into her record of policies, they started asking about the amazing moment Biden stepped aside for her.
And we have some never-before-shared details about the phone call that changed everything between President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Fucking fact shit is ridiculous.
Really? That's your big exclusive? Well, it better be good. Let's check it out.
My family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces, and we had just had pancakes and, you know, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes. And that's how I learned about it.
Wow, compelling stuff. Harris has been hiding from hard-hitting interviews since launching her campaign, and this was actually an opportunity for CNN to really test her candidacy. Instead, it is clear that this joke of a network simply wanted to promote her. It wasn't journalism, it was an endorsement.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, joining me on the show this week is Sky News host Caleb Bond and Radio 2CC Stephen Senatiempo. Now, let's start with you, Caleb. I mean, could that have been more of a flagrant endorsement of this person than what we just saw?
I don't even know how to respond to that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, remember during the 2016 campaign, CNN was derided as the Clinton News Network. Well, perhaps in this case they should change to KNN and be the Kamala News Network. Because what I just watched there had more mayo on it than a bad burger from McDonald's. Seriously.
Hilarious.
They have set her up as though she's the second coming of Jesus, and we've got to have Kamala Harris, otherwise the US is going to fall apart, etc., etc. What you would expect from an interview with any presidential candidate is a sit-down without the theatrics of all the production value. I mean, they've gone for like it's a doco that you're going to watch on Netflix or something, right? You don't want the production value. You want a hard-hitting journalist sitting in front of someone who's asking to be elected President of the United States, asking hard questions for an hour straight. You want to see the candidate squirm and duck and dive and work out where they sit on things. And that's not what you got. You got, as you pointed out, a bit of a puff piece and what seemed to be a promotional bit of material. I'm sure Kamala will now be using it on all of her social media because, you know, why spend money making your own stuff when CNN will do it for you?
Ass whooping. Looking forward to the ass whooping,
First,
y'all.
clean up on aisle Harris. More than a month after deposing Joe Biden as a candidate in what can only be called a coup, Kamala Harris has finally sat down and given an interview to CNN. Well, at least they called it an interview, though for my money, the whole thing, right down to the introduction, looked more like a campaign ad. I mean, we're talking about a package that was basically, when you boil it down, just a promo puff piece, about as informative as a corporate video from a sprocket company. And while I have no idea whether the Harris campaign got the questions ahead of time, the entire interview seemed to have been scripted with the goal in mind of getting Harris on the record answering a few difficult questions. The only problem is, scripted or not, Harris wasn't very good at answering them. And not only that, she had to have along with her her emotional support puppy, a.k.a. running mate Tim Waltz, sitting there as well, looking a bit like someone's dad when they go for an interview at McDonald's. Now, the interview started with an obvious question.
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard, which include what we're going to do to bring down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses, what we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life, to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby clothes, a crib. There's the work that we're going to do that is about investing in the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our country right now. So there are a number of things on day one.
So that's what they're going to do on day one, mostly a bunch of platitudes. And for a moment, it looked like this might have turned into a tough interview because CNN's Dana Bash, well, actually asked a follow-up question.
You have been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
The steps that you're talking about now, why haven't you done them already?
Well, first of all, we had to recover as an economy, and we have done that. I'm very proud of the work that we have done that has brought inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Donald Trump said he was going to do a number of things, including allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Never happened. We did it.
Again, it's pretty clear what happened here. After much negotiation, the Harris camp and CNN managed to pull together an interview that would allow CNN to look like they were asking a few tough questions, and for Harris and Waltz, it was a chance to do some cleanup. Meanwhile, the rest of the program turned out to be a great rah-rah rally for Harris. So, it was only natural that there would also be questions about Bidenomics.
You maintain Bidenomics is a success.
I maintain that when we do the work of bringing down prescription medication for the American people, including capping the cost of the annual cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000, when we do what we did in the first year of being in office to extend the child tax credit so that we cut child poverty in America by over 50%, when we do what we have done to invest in the American people and bringing manufacturing back to the United States so that we created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, bringing business back to America. What we have done to improve the supply chain so we're not relying on foreign governments to supply American families with their basic needs, I'll say that that's good work. There's more to do, but that's good work.
Hold on. Did she say 800,000 manufacturing jobs? Didn't they just do a job report the other day that showed that those numbers were falsified? We can find that video. I'll do that video by itself. I'll find it and put it up later. But I just had to stop here because right now you're telling me 800,000 manufacturing. They found out that number was a freaking lie. Okay, that number they gave him was made up. We actually lost jobs, and a lot of the jobs were bounce back jobs and people who had 2 jobs when they returned to the workforce. Let's get that clear. She couldn't get her own shit clear. I can't believe. What? Trump 2024, y'all.
Oh, hard-hitting stuff there. Now, indeed, one thing she wants you to know, though, is that despite having taken multiple positions on everything over the course of her career, Kamala Harris, well, her values, they have not changed.
The most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. Let's be clear, my values have not changed. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed.
And with that out of the way, well, the interview was pretty much all happy talk. You know, how the nieces were over doing a puzzle when Joe Biden called to say he was stepping out of the race. And then there was also this.
The photograph that has gone viral. You were speaking, one of your grandnieces that you were just talking about was watching you accept the nomination. You didn't explicitly talk about gender or race in your speech, but it obviously means a lot to a lot of people, and that viral picture really says it. What does it mean to you?
You know, I am running because I believe that I am the best person to do this job at this moment.
What the fuck?
What a masterful bit of propaganda by CNN and the Harris campaign. Pretend you're doing journalism, and then with what could have been a hard-hitting interview, turn it into fluff, complete with swelling inspirational music.
Welcome on board.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
This is not where Vice President Harris thought she would be.
We're going to Georgia.
Yeah, y'all. No. How long is this video so far? 8 minutes? Yeah, I think that's enough of this bullshit. We'll be back at some point. Oh my God. We saw this already with the other video I played. This is crazy. Just ridiculous. My goodness. Anyway, yeah. Hey, if you got any comments, leave them in the comments. Any questions, leave them in the comments. If I can talk, we can figure this out. So, yeah, let me end this thing. Oh, you still here? 5 people here. Hi, guys. All right. You want to watch some more? Let's see. Let's watch this. I didn't see this. I love talking politics, but I don't want to see them now.
You want to know why I hate him?
Yeah, I'm still curious to hear it.
Because people like you seem to like him.
Are you out of your mind? Do you know people like me? People like me escape the bullshit of people like you that bought into the games being played against guys like him.
I think you're what makes this country great, and I can't figure out why someone as smart as you.
Do you want me to explain to you why? It's not. But wait a minute. You make it seem like this is a Trump podcast.
No, it's not. But like, I don't understand. Forgive me.
Yeah.
The way I look at him is binary. I can't look at him and see good things.
I can look at Obama and see good things. I can look at Biden and see good things. I can look at Bill Clinton and see good things.
Then you're better than I am.
It's not about being better than you are, buddy. It's not about that. I love America. And I don't look at people from the standpoint. I've sit down with mobsters, gangsters. I've sit down with, communists. I love talking to communists because it's a great conversation for me. I don't sit there and say, I hate this guy. See, the challenge with your side, because you sound like a broken record right now, as if it's CNN or MSNBC. Do you know what happened to their ratings when the world find out?
All right, yo, let's go. Let's go check this out right quick. Look at this. Wouldn't you believe? What? She tried to do what? Thank you, ABC. You better not have changed them rules. ABC News rejects Kamala Harris's last-minute bid to change Trump debate rules. We'll keep mics muted mics. She wanted to unmute the mic for drama. It's for drama. Okay, let's see what the fuck's going on.
She's not.
Let's back it up.
Former President Donald Trump accused Vice President Kamala Harris on Monday of trying to duck next month's ABC News presidential debate by demanding that the Republican nominee take part without a, quote, muted microphone. 45th president said scheduled September 10th showdown during an appearance at a Vietnamese restaurant in Falls Church, but the truth was they're trying to get out of it because she doesn't want to debate. She's not a good debater. She's not a smart person, is what he said. Harris campaign senior communications advisor Brian Fallon had issued a statement earlier on Monday saying that Harris told ABC and other networks seeking to host a possible October debate that they believe both candidates' mics should be live throughout the entire broadcast. That led to a subsequent statement by Trump campaign advisor Jason Miller, who fired back saying the Democratic nominees camp wanted to change the rules that they'd already agreed to when Biden was still the Democratic nominee. Harris has yet to sit for a major media interview or any interview since taking Biden's place on that ticket. She's also declined to confirm 2 other proposed debates with President Trump that were to be hosted by both Fox News and NBC News.
All right. Pen, pad, paper, and bottle of water. That's what they're going to get. All right. Let's take a look at this real quick, y'all.
I joined the military for my kid. Everyone's vaping constantly. That's how a lot of people try to deal with mental issues. I was hooked like that. I caught my son trying to hit my vape. That was it. I had to.
Where the hell is vape shit coming from? I'll close all of them up. All right. We'll be back. Let me get offline because I'm not even in a format. Thanks for coming by, y'all.